Right, hi everyone. If you can write the short date and the learning objective, okay, short date and learning objective. Please pause the video while you do that, and then we'll continue. Right, okay, so I've had problems with my phone, and so I'm doing this with the visualizer. So it's not quite the same quality, but it's all perfectly good. All right, so as I said, we're using substitution today. I'm not sure whether we've done a little bit of this before. Okay, so with these ones, you're actually given the value. Okay, b is equal to 6. You're given the value of the letters. Now it's unlike when we're doing equations, we're finding the value of the letter, or if we're simplifying things. This time we're given the values, and then we have to work out how much what the value of an expression is. So, for example, if a is equal to 2, b is equal to 6, c is equal to 5, d is equal to -2. So what will 4b be equal to? 4b, okay? Now we can see here, remember you've got the invisible times sign. So this is 4 times b. Now we're going to substitute b for 6. Okay, hence it's called substitution. So 4 times 6, 24. Now we don't always have to do all that workings out, because after a little while we're able to work them out very quickly. Okay. What about b over a? Now again, we're just substituting the letters for their values. So b is equal to 6, a is equal to 2, 6 divided by 2, how many 2's in 6? The answer is 3. So we're substituting, okay? Yeah, substituting the letters for their values. 2a over b, okay? 2a over b, okay? Ooh, sorry, 2b, let's do that one again. 2b over a. So again, I'm going to work out 2b. Now b is 6, so it's 2 times 6 is 12. Working out the value of that expression. A, I know, is 2. 12 divided by 2, 6. Okay. Let's do a couple more. Then we can get a little bit more complicated. It becomes 2b plus 4c divided by 2a. Okay. So again, which is just substitution. So let's substitute this 2b. So 2b, 2 times b, 2 times 6. This becomes 12 plus 4c, 4 times c. c is 5, so this becomes 4 times 5 is 20. Okay. And then this goes over 2a. So a is 2, so it's 2 times 2, 4. Okay, and this one here is 2 times 6, isn't it? Okay, 12. So from here, remember, this is where we have to use our BODMAS. Okay, so we know that we have to do the divide before we do before we add it on. So we're going to do that first. 20 divided by 4. How many 4s in 20 is 5? So that one becomes 5, isn't it? This becomes 12 plus 5. 17. Okay, so we're just substituting, and then we're following the rest of the rules, aren't we? It does get a little bit trickier. What do you think the answer to this one is? 2d. Now d is equal to -2. Have an answer in your head for that one. Okay. Let's have a little look. So we've got 2 times -2, because d is -2, and we've got the invisible times sign, remember, haven't we? Okay, if there's no sign there, it is a times. So remember, a positive times a negative will give me a negative, so that will give me -4. Okay, 2 times 2 is 4, and a positive and a negative is a negative. Okay, so when you're working with the negatives, just be a little bit more careful. What about this one? 2c divided by d. Well, we know 2c, 2 times c, c is 5, so this becomes 2 times 5, d is -2. So 2 times 5 is 10, 10 over -2. Now remember, a positive divided by negative will give me a negative. So here we've got 10 divided by 2. How many 2's are in 10? 5. So we've got a negative 5. Okay. Have a go at this one. What do you think the answer to this one? A, C, D. Everyone working that one out, please. A, C, D. So, remembering, we've got the times signs in between. Okay. So just working it out for yourself. So we're substituting A for 2. 2 times C, which is 5, times D, which is minus 2. So 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times minus 2, okay, a positive and a positive will give me, a positive and negative gives me negative. 10 times 2 is 20. So we get a minus 20. Okay. What do you reckon to this one? Okay, C squared. What's C squared on this one? C squared. Got an answer? Now remember, C squared means C times C, doesn't it? The answer is not 10. If you put 10, you are wrong. Okay? If you put 10, you were wrong. It's not 5 times 2. Remember, it's C squared means C times C, and C is worth 5. So it becomes 5 times 5, 25. Okay? So just remember, when you're squaring, you're timesing by itself, aren't you? Okay? And then what about D squared? D squared. What do we reckon that is equal to? Just give you a moment. Now, if you said minus 4, you're wrong, okay? Because remember, D squared means it's D times D. Now, D is with minus 2, so it's minus 2 times minus 2. A negative times a negative gives me a positive, okay? Positive 4. I don't need to put the plus sign, yeah, because we know it's a positive 4 if there's no sign there, okay? Right, okay. I think you can have a go at these, okay? I think you'll have a go at these. I think these will suit you down to the ground, okay? So could you please have a go at these, okay? Have a go at these questions here. Okay, pause the video, okay, while you're working them out, and I'll take a look at them afterwards. Okay, I'll take a look at them afterwards. Okay, so pause the video, off you go with those. Press play when you're done. Right, let's have a little look then. Okay, so we've got 3a, so this is 3 times a, so this becomes 3 times 4, and that's 12. b is 10. Oh, plus 10, 22. Give it a, yeah, if we can mark it, please. So then we've got 2c. 2c means 2 times 5, doesn't it? 2 times, yeah. So that's 10, and we're taking away a, which is 4, gives us 6. Okay, 3b minus 3c. So this is 3 times b is 10, and c, this is 3 times c is 5. We're going to take them away. So 3 times 10 is 30, becomes 30, take away 15, which gives us 15. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Again, 2b, 2 times b is 10. So 2 times 10 is 20, so it becomes 20 over 2 times c over 10. How many 10s in 20? 2. Okay, right, 5a. That's going to be 5 times a. 5 4s are 20, so it becomes 20 over b over 10, okay? And then we minus 3c, 3 times c. C is 5, 3 times 5 is 15. So, oh, it's going to be a strange question. So, oh yes, what a tricky one there. So 20 divided by 10, so that gives us 2, okay? So it becomes 2 minus 15. Okay, and this is what, again, we think of the temperatures. It was 2 degrees, and it decreases by 15. So our answer to that is minus 13, okay, minus 13. And then let's have a look at this last one to the bottom. So this is where we start to work with the negative numbers, okay? So 4D, 4 times minus 2, a positive and a negative is a negative. So that'll give us minus 8 plus 2C. 2 times 5 is 10. So again, it's minus 8, then increases by 10. So it goes a positive 2, okay, positive 2. Let's just get some of those out of the way. Okay, let's have a little look at the last ones. Okay, C squared, 5 times 5, 25. Take away A squared, 4 times 4 is 16. Answer's 9. Okay, then we've got 2B, 2 times 10, 20. So this becomes 20, and we put that over to 2D. And 2D, remember, is 2 times minus 2. Okay, D is minus 2. So that gives us a minus 4. Okay, so 20 divided by minus 4, a positive divided by negative gives me a negative. So that would be minus 5. So we're going to start with minus 5. Then I add 3 times A, which is 4, plus 12, minus 5, plus 12, so I'm on a negative. And then I end up with 7. Okay, so some tricky, so fairly tricky. Let's look at the last one. C squared, 5 times 5, 25, times minus 2, take away B squared, 10 times 10, 100. So let's have a look at this part here. We've got 25. Okay, Bidmus tells us we have to do this multiplying first anyway. So 25 times minus 2, a positive times a negative, will give me a negative. So this becomes a negative 50. We're taking away 100. So minus 50 minus 100 will give me minus, 150. If you got that right, really well done, because that's a tricky question, okay? Minus 150. So this last few here have been tricky. Hopefully we can get this first half more or less done. And then if you're getting these as well, okay, you're doing really, really well. Now, the whole point of substitution, in fact, you do use substitution a lot when it comes to physics, okay? And I'm sure you probably already have where you're given a physics equation on how something is done, and you have to work through it, isn't it? So let's have a look at this physics equation. If you want to calculate force, you take the mass and you times it by the volume, and use the formula F equals ma. Remember the invisible times sign, okay? So force equals mass times volume. So find the force if m is equal to, say the m was equal to 3 kilograms. I'm just making this up, okay? And the volume, I don't know what, oh yeah, volume. I've written that down correctly. Mass times volume. Okay, we'll keep it, leave it at that anyway. I think it's mass times area. Sorry, okay, my mistake. And the area is, we'll just call it 5 centimeters squared. Okay, so if we want to find out what the force is, we take the mass and we times it by the area. Okay, so this becomes 3 times 5, 15. Okay, so this is where we use our substitutions in practical purposes, in things like physics, in chemistry, and it's really useful. We have to be able to do it, okay? And all we are doing is substituting our values into our formula, okay? And that's what you're going to be doing for the rest of the lesson. And these can change, okay? These can change. Let's have a look at another formula, okay? Which you'll find in physics, okay? So to find the pressure of something, okay, you divide the force by the area. To find the pressure, you define the force. Pressure is equal to force divided by area. So say, for example, the force was 80 and the area was 20, okay, you would just use your formula. So P equals F divided by A. So if I wanted to find the pressure, F is 80, so I substitute the letter for the value, and then A area is 20. Okay, so P is equal to, how many 20s and 80? 4. Okay, and of course what will happen is that these values will change all the time. It could be 200. In fact, let's change that. It won't be 200. It could be 500, and that could be 50. Okay, so again, the force, we would do 500 divided by 50. Okay, and that would be 10. Okay, 10. So it's just a case of substituting the values into the formula. Okay, so sometimes, especially with the work you're going to be doing next, it looks really tricky. Okay, and when you start reading, you think, oh my goodness, I can't do that. But actually, look at the formula and substitute the letters for the values that you've been given. Okay. Right, let's have a look at this one. So this is one, again, we'll do in maths, and you do formulas, lots of formulas in maths as well. So the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times the length, because you add up all the lengths, and there are 2 lengths, and 2 times the width. So this is the formula. P equals 2L plus 2W. So say, for example, the length of my rectangle is 7 centimeters. And the width is 5 centimeters. I'll just substitute that in my formula, don't I? So it becomes 2 times 7 plus 2 times 5. 2 times 7 is 14. Add that to 10. My answer would be 24 centimeters. Okay. And that is, again, a case of where we know the value of L and we're just substituting. We know the value of W, we're substituting. And then we're doing what you did in the last part of the lesson. So when you come to do the work, and I'd like us to get as far as we can on it, please. Can you you read it and you might panic, but don't. Find the formula and substitute the values into that formula, and you can't go wrong. You can also use a calculator for that work, okay? So you can use a calculator for all the questions, because I really just want us to be doing the substitution one, and let's worry about the calculator, okay? So have a go at those, everyone, okay? Have a go at those, and I will see you next time, okay? Thank you.